BRC on 3, 1, 2, 3, BRC!
Hey, AC back here at the channel, and I'm down here in Balclutha, and I'm here with Isla. So how you doing, Isla?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. Yeah.
So how long have you been playing for the Big River countryside here?
5 years, so it's our fifth year in the competition, 5th year starting, so I've been here from the start. So.
And it's not far away from the start of the season either?
No, this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah, she's cracking into it.
Yeah, well, I'll have to get it out there pretty quickly, won't I?
Yeah.
So, what's your goals walking into the season?
Oh, it's always to win. Take it out.
Yeah.
Just build on what we've been building for the last 5 years, really.
Yeah.
Got a few new girls coming in and a bit of fresh talent, so
Right.
keep building that.
So you're the old head in the team?
Something like that. Mid-range.
Mid-range.
Yeah.
So you've got Zingaree in the mix this year as well. So you've taken the boys gone away.
Yep.
So you'll be playing rugby week in and week out. That'd be pretty cool for the girls as well, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, it's always nice to have a wee breather, but like it's going to be good for our rugby, our fitness, everything really, and good to get more girls in the system, building their skills and confidence as well. So
yeah, I see some of the girls walking in having a bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, with your own rugby, so where are you at with your fitness and everything like that coming along?
Pretty slow. It's been a long pre-season for us girls really. They've been cracking into it a bit, so
Yeah.
Take me a few games to warm up, I'm sure, but
Right.
it's all good.
So most players, we have nicknames, because I had a few.
Yeah.
So what do they call you in this team?
Pringle.
Pringle? Is that it? Just Pringle?
That's it. I'm a saint. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Isla.
No worries.
We'll catch up during the season and see how you're getting on.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank
Cheers.
you. All done.
You can go. Let's go put some laps in. Put some laps in. Hey, when you get up off, when you get off the ground, the best thing to do to make yourself go forward is fall over, because you'll put one foot in front of the other. That's what I used to do, because I was so big, it's so big, and you get off the ground, you go, oh fuck, just lean and fall over, and you take the next step and you're off. Especially when you're knackered.
Smart idea.
It is, try it. It's really good. Yeah.
Oh, Dan, just in time.
I was busy at the moment. Andrew's all over. He wants to talk to players, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, what do you think of Dan, Kelsey?
Extremely good coach. He cries a lot though.
Does he?
Yeah, he has to put his sunglasses on because he gets a bit.
He's
He's a
quite
bit emotional especially when we're doing well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've known Dougal since I was like shorter than he was. So
Real.
yeah, we sort of grew up together.
That's my dad.
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
Oh God. Cut that one out. So it must be pretty good, because I grew up in the Balclutha Rugby Club as a 5-year-old. So what's it like coming here and as a young player and playing here?
Different. I didn't really grow up in the Clutha Rugby Club.
Yeah.
When I didn't start playing until I was at high school. So it's been different, challenging first couple of years, but it's been really good. It's been real good, like having our own changing room and everything, like somewhere to call home, like our base.
Yeah.
So it's been really good that Clutha have let us like decorate our changing room and make everything our own.
Yeah. No,
Feels like home.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yourself, like as you said, you just started out on your journey probably since you left high school.
Yeah.
And so how are you coping with the changes and the speed of the game?
Oh, it's fast. You've got to stay fit.
Yeah.
In the off season as well as during the season.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot harder. Rugby. I played in high school and then I stopped and kind of played casually for Green Island
Yeah.
And it was just real casual, like
Yeah.
it wasn't fast at all with Green Island.
Oh, right.
So then when this started, it's just like the last 5 years, the amount it's progressed is insane.
Yeah. And the cool thing is the community's got behind you and giving you
Yeah,
a shitload of support.
definitely. Yeah, even right from our first year, they've been right behind us the whole way,
Yeah.
which has been, unreal. I don't think we would have been able to be like a team if the community wasn't behind us like they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I've talked to quite a few of your sponsors and stuff, and they're stoked.
Yeah,
you know,
they love it.
And that's what I'm looking forward to this year, is watching all the girls. Like, not only, as I said to you before, you know, I haven't actually watched women's rugby.
Yeah.
So this year, not being part of Southern and getting out and doing this, I actually get the opportunity to watch.
Yeah, it'll be good.
And that's what we want to do at this channel, is promote you girls as well, and all of that sort of stuff. So, no,
cool.
Thank you for that.
That's all right.
And
Thanks for having us on here.
No, that's fine. You'll see it. So sweet.
Perfect.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Now go out and run. Hurry up. You'll get nowhere otherwise.
Yeah.
Hey, AC here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed that from the BRC girls down in Balclutha. I got an opportunity to have a chat to them last night, so that was pretty cool. So in the studio, and welcome to the new studio here, I've got Hayden Finch. How you doing, Hayden?
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, so a quick bio on you. So you're the coach of the GI team.
Yep.
And what else are you doing?
Yeah, I'm working for Spates for like the last 18 years. Obviously, early doors, I was a Pirates man, and then went up Central Otago and player coach at Arrowtown for 8 or 9 years, and then had a few years off, and then this is my third year this year involved with the Green Island Premiers.
Yeah, and so you're a Kai boy as well.
A Kai boy, so I played a fair bit for Kai as well, and straight out of school as well. So
Hey, my boys would like mower. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So and so also we've got coming in from the States as Wheels. You there, Wheels?
Yeah, AC, how you doing, mate? Good to connect with you.
So give us a wee bio on what you're doing over in the States and what your background is.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, similar to Finchy, my love for the game started at Pirates as well. Played all my junior rugby there, and pretty pumped to see them back in the senior comp this year with Dicko leading the charge, so that's pretty awesome. Went to Otago Boys High School, and then out of there went to the Magpies, and was never any good as a player, but got involved in a bit of managing and administration there, and lucky enough worked with the union and Perky, and fast forward a couple of years, I've been over here in Boston with the Free Jacks, running their academy and all of their community rugby stuff, and I'm loving it. It's been a cool challenge, but one that I've definitely grown a lot from and learnt a lot from, so yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, so cheers for that, Wheels. And just before we get into the chat, I want you guys to, if you want to help us with this project, subscribe, push the like button, and help us along, because it just helps us with everything, and we can grow this channel and bring Dunedin Premier Rugby to you guys and come up with a really cool product. So we'll get back to you, Hayden. The win last year for GI, that was a big thing. So personally, how did that feel for you?
Oh, it was awesome. It was, a lot of hard work. I haven't done all the hard work behind the scenes like what the Green Island Club have done, but, coaching club rugby takes up a lot of family time. It's pretty much 7 days a week. So it was an awesome thing for me, but also for my wife Bex and my two boys, Ollie and Harry, to be there that day. And Ollie, he comes to every training. He's at every game as the ball boy or tee boy, and just how stoked they were as well that Dad had, managed to get the win over Dunedin and just enjoy the celebrations for the next 3 days. They loved it. They were there every night, and it was great for a family.
So it must have done awesome for Green Island, the community, everyone out there as well. Yeah,
amazing. Probably didn't realise how much it would mean. Like the week leading in, all the nerves about playing a final and stuff, and how, a lot of talk about how great it would be, 46 years to win. But then when we walk back in the club rooms to see it absolutely full, to the walls. Then it kind of sunk in over the next 3 days with just so many people coming on Sunday and then even on Monday. Just how much it meant for the community was awesome.
Yeah, and I've seen some clips on how hard your committee worked in behind the scenes. They had that, was it 5-year program set down, and it must be great for that to actually culminate in a championship.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not on the committee or anything like that, and I just kind of see how much work they have done. I've really only been involved, the last 4 years at the club, and I just know that nothing's an issue when you need something and something's sorted. The amount of work they've gone behind the scenes, the Gareth and behind the bar and everything like that, they work really hard to make the club look like it is, and it's in a real good state at the moment.
Yeah, you got anything to add, Wills?
I think you mentioned it, Finchy. It takes a volunteer army to win a championship, and I remember the days of Green Island where they were struggling, and then you picked up a couple of my mates, Jimmy Arscott, and to see that championship last year from afar was so awesome. And I witnessed the committee firsthand, all the work that they put in, and I see all the posts on social media, and the club's helping guys look for jobs and places to stay, and it's endless hours. And you got to tip your hat. I think if you look at Green Island, that's a really good template for other clubs to use, moving forward.
Yeah, no, that is pretty good for the GI. So we're going to talk about season, because I watched the pre-season game with Southern. For me, it looked like you were just a wee step behind, but in the second half, you guys managed to claw it back, and you were much more settled in that second half.
Yeah, we are a wee bit behind the 8 ball. That's for sure. We had our first pre-season game defaulted to. We've had just a lot of guys away or coming back from injury. So we're that game in the heat. It was pretty ugly watch until the last 20, to be honest. A bit of a worry. We're a bit light on numbers, which is a bit frustrating, but that's just the way things are. And so I think the key for us is we haven't lost too many of our key players up front. So they know how to play with each other and how to and work really hard. But it's just that it's a bit of a concern leading into Dunedin in just over 12 days or so. But we trained really hard last night, and we'll be training hard in the next few nights over the next week or so to try and get more up to scratch. But without a doubt, we're a wee bit underdone. Yeah,
and I was a bit sad that the Blues pulled out on you, because you needed that. I think at the end of that game, your structure was there, and I think that was the key. I think that's the key you've got to look at, is your structure and the consistency. I'm always banging on about consistency, and it's nice to see that group you've got back. You need that group back for the consistency of selection, so it makes your job easier.
Yeah, I agree. In that first game, like on Saturday, we gave away 9 penalties in the first 20 minutes. Everyone's been dying for a game of rugby. They've been training. We've been training since December and away, and then definitely since the end of January. So it's been a long time waiting. We didn't manage to field a team for the Spartan 10s, which is quite gutting as well. So the boys have been dying to get out and make some tackles, and unfortunately they were making way too many high tackles and things like that. So in a way it's good to iron out that, but ideally you always want 2 pre-seasons to fully iron out all the the rustiness from not playing for so long. Yeah,
we sent the game to Wheels. What did you think of the game, Wheels?
Yeah, as I said here, the beauty of being away for 4 years is that there's a lot of new faces out there. But look, I think what Finchy said is very true. Definitely a lot of penalties in the first half, but GI certainly kicked into gear in the second half. But it was definitely awesome to see a lot of fresh faces on both sides. I couldn't even recognise half of the Southern Magpies backline, and they scored some nice tries. I know that Lobby and Hisa have got them going at the helm, and it sounds like they've sort of taken that one club mentality this year. They've got their P2s and training with the Prems, which I think is a cool step in the right direction. But I mean, it's always so hard to judge a season on those types of games, isn't it? But I think getting some minutes under the boys' legs is the most important thing.
Yeah, no, that is correct. So, looking to the season coming ahead, I was going to ask you how your team was going to track, but they're the obvious questions, and they're probably the hardest questions, and probably some you don't want to answer because we don't want to talk about what your strategies are working into the season. So, as an open question is, what do you think for any team or any club to win the competition coming this season? Because there's 4 clubs that are really close. Dunedin, yourselves, Southern and Kike, they're the top 4 closest in my opinion. And then you're closely followed up by University and Zingaree, because they're your top 6. What do you think it's going to take for one of those teams or any of the teams to come through and get through the season?
Yeah, I think this year is going to be very, very close. Harbour have obviously spent some money and recruited well, and other teams have recruited really well as well. So it's going to be a very, very tough year. I think for us, it's you've got to build the culture. It doesn't matter what kind of superstars you have in the team. If you can build a culture that these boys want to go out and play really tough rugby for 80 minutes, tackle their heart out, turn up Tuesday, Thursday, not all looking to make representative rugby sides. They're just there to enjoy their teammates and have a beer afterwards. That's how I kind of build a team, and I think that was that success last year. A couple of 37, 38-year-old props and a couple of older locks and a 38-year-old halfback. But they're massive to your culture and massive to when the young guys are in your team as well. So I'm a big man on culture, and then, because every team's can beat. I think any team can beat any team this year, and it'll be all about who wants it the most at the end of each 80 minutes, really.
That's dead right. Because in the semi-finals you lost against University, and that was one of the teams I was scared of. And then, but for you to come around and win the next 2 games, that was a pretty huge effort. How did you turn that one around after University?
Yeah, well, Varsity gave us 2 hidings really, and within a 3-week period, and it was both. It was interesting, and that's the thing. If some players are slightly off, then you're going to lose. And then both games, there's nothing really on the line if you look at it like that way, but you want to win every game, but then you only have to be 5% off, and and they run rampant at Varsity Oval, and then in the quarterfinal, same thing, nothing really on it, but a home semi would have been amazing, and so we kind of knew flush that. And in a way, all those guys were probably not wanting to get injured, ready for that semi-final, because we knew we had a semi-final. So it's a tough one. 5% off and you lose a game.
Yeah, that's right. Have you got anything what are your thoughts on what's it going to take to win a season, win the championship, Wheels?
No, I mean, I fully second Finchie's point around the culture. I think, you've got to have players that want to go out there and put in a shift for the guy beside them for 80 minutes. And, I think equally important is what you do off the field around your club, and having some real awesome events to make guys feel belonged at the club. And you got to remember, a lot of these guys probably come from the North Island and are pretty nervous to come into a new club and meet some new people. And if you have a club that's really welcoming and sort of welcoming a new player with open arms, it makes them feel a lot more comfortable and probably stress free and wanting to play for the guys around them. But yeah, I mean, depth, I guess we always talk about depth, and in the modern game, the injuries these days are going up. So I think having that real strong P2s, Colt side that you can call upon that next man up when those things do happen. And, Finchie, I'm guessing that you probably used a lot of your squad last year to get that title over the line, and called up a few P2s boys here and there. So I think that's always important, is having good depth in your club.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah, I think we used about 46 last year. Good thing is that we do play, train alongside our P2s Tuesday and Thursday, and now we've got a pretty solid Prem Colts team this year by the looks of it. So, they've been training alongside us as well. So we kind of share players. I'm a big one that everyone should be playing each week and at least getting 40 minutes if you're not starting for your Prems, you definitely have to go and play P2s or Colts and get 40 to 50 minutes. I was just wondering, Wheels, a question from me is, how do you build culture in a place like America when you've got heaps of different people from different countries around the world?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's probably been pretty fortunate that the Free Jacks are probably one of the teams in MLR that have done a really good job of that. And I can tell from first-hand experience that moving across the globe is certainly a tough thing. And if I use a player, for example, from last year, Sam Fishley had never even stepped out of New Zealand, and all of a sudden he finds himself in the big streets of Boston. And I was talking to Fish a few weeks ago, and he absolutely loved the experience. And I think the big thing that we try and do is we'll try and take them, I think, around the city and connect them to the city as much as possible. And by doing that, we have lots of awesome like mini team and social events that really help the guys get simulated to the environment and make them feel welcome. We're super fortunate. We've got an awesome fan group that will put together grocery packages for the boys on arrival. They've got their beds made when they turn up. They've got a car waiting for them. So their bank accounts are in motion. They've got a phone number set up. So trying to remove all of those little external stresses that can build up and really play on a person, I think's what the Free Jacks try and do. And moving over here with all sorts of different things you have to set up, from social security numbers and taxes, it's quite a big thing. So I'd say just getting those sorted as best as possible helps the guys.
So if anyone here in New Zealand or Dunedin wants to watch the Free Jacks, what's the best sites to go look at that, Wheels?
Yeah, so I think there's been a couple of games on Sky Sport the past couple of weeks, but you can watch on the Rugby Network, which is a free to air app. And I've been really impressed. The quality of rugby's gone up immensely over the past couple of years, and that is due to having some good foreign players. But I know you've got one of your Green Island faithful over there, Dylan Nell, playing for Utah, who's been awesome for them. But it's definitely a good competition that's hopefully on the up over the next couple of years.
Yeah, so what's the chances of sneaking some players over here?
Yeah, I mean, as we mentioned earlier, I think just the window, MLR on at the same time as club rugby and Super Rugby makes it difficult. But I think what American rugby really needs to do is try and get those up-and-coming collegiate lads to get over there and get some different hemisphere rugby under their belt so they can come back and be better players. And the collegiate system, the high school system here and the junior system here is so far underdeveloped compared to New Zealand, and that's really what they need to put a lot of effort in over the next few years before the Rugby World Cup if they want to get that Eagles side to where they want it to be. Yeah,
because we've got a Canadian playing for Harbour this year, and he's just on a sabbatical, so it'd be pretty cool to see him. You'll notice him out there. I think he's playing centre, so I can't remember his name because I'm shocking with names. So we'll move on to the season, because the season starts not this weekend, next weekend for. And so we'll just do a quick run over of the games coming up. So we've got AU playing Zingaree first up. So what are your thoughts on that one, Wheels?
Oh, there we go. That's always a good battle. No, I mean, following Zingaree on social media, it looks like they've recruited well again, and they seem to have strong numbers throughout all of their teams. So I think Zingaree probably a bit too strong for them. I honestly don't know where AU's at in terms of their club, but I've always loved the Broncos and would love them to get a win. But we'll go Zingers.
Yep. What about yourself, Hayden?
Yeah, I'll go Zingers. Look like they've continually recruited well this year. They're a big side, and I think from AU haven't had the greatest of pre-season. So yeah, I'm at Zingaree.
Yeah, because Clutha came up and beat them.
Yeah.
So that was this weekend, and it was good. The Clutha boys last night, they were pretty stoked 2 in a row, so that was pretty good for those guys. Zingaree, for them, I think if they're fit enough, big enough, the big boys are fit enough, and they can keep their tackles down, I think we'll get that one pretty over the line pretty quick. Then we've got University versus Southern. It's for the VG Kavanagh, straight off the bat. So the VG for me and you, Wheels, is a big one. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, you'll know my answer. But no, it's always a good historic clash for the club, and I know the VG holds a really special piece of silverware for both varsity and Southern, and there's been some pretty awesome games over the years. But yeah, I mean, I haven't watched any of varsity's preseason footage, but I know they took a little while to get going last year, and I think they've got coaching consistency this year, right? So I guess that's a positive for them, and Southern may have a bit of a new flavour of rugby under Hisa and Lobby. Obviously, JL's not at the helm anymore, so yeah, I'll back the Magpies, but it could go either way.
What do you reckon, Hayden?
Tough one, this one. Yeah, I don't know much about varsity pre-season, who they've lost or who they've gained. I just know Southern were a pretty big side. Got some pretty exciting young backs in the midfield now as well, and they didn't have Conrad or Mika or Harry Taylor in the weekend. So yeah, I think I'll go Southern against varsity.
Yeah, I think Mac is back. So yeah, I don't know.
Coming to GI.
I heard a rumour. No. Well, with varsity, I think the key thing for them is they generally have a high turnover of players because, you know, students being students, coming and going. It's whether they can combine real quick, whether they can get those consistencies, and can compete in the forwards with Southern, because as we all know, that's where you got to beat Southern. So yeah, but I'll tip my hat to Southern on that one. I think we've had a bit more games under our belt, and I think they're going well. Now, your game out at Dunedin, GI, we'll start with you, Hayden. I know you'll be tipping yourself because that's what you want and looking for a good start.
Yeah, it's a normal start, actually. I think we played Dunedin first up at Kettle Park the last 3 years in a row, but yeah, going to be a tough one. Yeah, hard to tell. Like we've had 4 or 5 boys away that we haven't seen yet from the under-20s, and I know Dunedin probably they've got 9 or 10. So, yeah, maybe in a way we both could be a wee bit underdone. So it's just about, yeah, they're a good team. They held onto the ball really well, and you know if all the under-20 superstars are playing, then they'll be exciting back on as well. So, no, we'll be doing what we'll do. We'll do the tough graph 80 minutes like we normally do, and yeah, let's hope we get on the right side again.
Yeah, that's dead right. Wheels, what are your thoughts?
Is that game out at Miller Park?
No, at Shark Park.
It's at Shark Park
on the beach. Yeah, no, I'll back the Grizzlies. Grew up in Green Island, so I've got some allegiance to their Finchy, so I'll back the Grizzlies. But no, I mean the Sharkies are always there or thereabouts, aren't they? Every year. I know Giff Henry's coaching them again, and I saw their Prem squad was named a couple of days ago online, and looks like there's plenty of new faces. That winger Kyron Rangi Tutia, he really impressed me last year watching some of the games. So if you can shut down their outside backs, you guys will outwork them through the middle of the field.
Yeah, I'll probably go the other way just for the sheer reason that Dunedin are at home. So yeah, but I think if what I've seen with your forward pack in the weekend, if they're competing up front, as you said, shut them down, and you should be able to get over the line. It'll be a tight one. And so we've got out at Kaikoura and Tyree playing. So what's your thoughts there, Wheels, with out at Kaikoura with Tyree?
Yeah, obviously Tyree, I guess last year from what I heard was a bit of a rebuilding year. So I'm not sure how their pre-season's gone. And I know that's always they're always a club that can pull their act together, and they always seem to get good numbers. I'll back the Tyree boys to bounce back against Kike, just because I have a bit of a personal hatred for Kike. So there you go.
So Hayden, what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I think Tyree got a few of the old boys back from down south, and I think even Caden Leaf's back from man or two. So I think I think with if the 2 Whonga boys are floating around in the midfield as well, I think they're going to be hard to beat this year. So I think they're going to go, they're going to be right up there. So yeah, I'm going Tyree to beat Kaikoura.
Yeah, I'm looking for more out of Tyree this year. Phil's back, isn't he? Coaching. Yep. So he's back coaching. He's a hard man. So yeah, but Kaikoura at home, they've got a good forward pack and they've always been solid. So just going to take kike with that one. So yeah. So we'll move on to what we wanted to do this year as well is promote our women's rugby, our premier rugby. And when I was talking to the girls last night, I was like, because I've been in administration at Southern, you don't tend to look outside what you're doing and outside what your club's doing. And I had to apologise to the girls because I didn't really know, I didn't really know where they're at, what the best teams are. I think we were talking about the other day, Staples, who won competition, and it's a bit of a shame that we don't promote it more. And so what I want to do is promote more of the women's rugby. It was great to talk to the Zinger coach the other day. I had a wee word to them and how they've been promoted up and they're going to come into the Premier competition. So that brings it to 6 teams. So that takes away the bye, and I think they've got a 10-week season. Is that right? 10-week season? Plus finals. So that's got to grow our sport and help with our women's teams in Otago as well. So having more players in that Premier competition should help. So the first game for those coming up is Zinger versus Waiteki, the Waiteki girls. So I don't know much about Waiteki because I haven't watched it. Sadly, sorry people. And but if you can get out, because they start this weekend, get out and support them. It'll be really great. It's up at Zingers. So I'm hoping that Zinger girls get up there and give it a shot with Sandra. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I coached Pirates women for 6 years back in the 2000s, and obviously coached Otago Spirit for 4 seasons. So yeah, a big fan of women's rugby, and I don't follow closely, but obviously a bit of a soft spot for the Big River country Clutha girls from being from Kai. So always have a look at the results to see how they're going. Green Island got Margaret Bro coaching them at Green Island, and hey, they would love some more numbers, but man, they've got a great team culture already. They were stoked how they went in the weekend in a game of 3 halves. So yeah, women's rugby it's really, really important, and it's actually some skill sets are really, really good, and it can be it's good to watch. So yeah.
So you'll be a bit like me, Wheels, a bit short on knowledge with the ladies team.
Yeah, definitely in Dunedin for sure. But over here in America, the women's game's actually probably going stronger than the men's in some respects. Like the USA women's are always pretty up there, and they've unleashed that superstar this year, Alona Ma, who's doing the rounds on social media and Seven's superstar. So the women's game over here is actually thriving a lot at the moment, and the women's elite rugby, which is a new professional competition, start weekend, which is quite cool. So back home in Dunedin, follow all the Spirit results, and I know Sneds has stepped down this year, so hopefully the ship doesn't capitulate, but I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, and so the next game coming up, the BRC girls are playing Varsity down in Clutha. So I know they're looking forward to it. They're kicking off this weekend, so hopefully they can get a good result. They had a good pre-season with Pioneer and had a good game against the girls down there, so they seem to go all right. So I'm backing the girls to get a wee win. As soon as their season finished, I was talking to Dan, as soon as their season finished, they were straight back in the gym and getting their fitness up. And then we've got Dunedin. They're playing AU. They're the last 2 years champions, so it should be a great fight between those two. So yeah, so what are your thoughts on those two teams?
I don't really, because I'm guessing Dunedin would have lost Sheree Hume and that because they're playing over in Aussie, aren't they? And Georgie won't be playing for AU. So yeah, I'm not sure. No doubt Dunedin would have recruited pretty well, and so's AU. They're the top 2 teams, been for a long, long time since Pirates folded. So yeah, it's go AU. So
yeah, so with your thoughts on this, Wheels, like as you're saying over there, it's getting the women's rugby over in the States is doing really well. For us here at the Media House in Southern Rugby, we want to see, that's why we wanted to do this, put more promotion around it and get the women's game bigger and you know, like I'm looking forward to learning more. That's the cool thing, seeing the faces and talking about it. And I think all of us, me, you, and everyone included, needs to watch this space. What do you reckon there, Wills?
No, that's it. Yep, keep your eyes out, and they've got a World Cup this year for the Black Ferns over in England, right? So it's a pretty exciting year for women's rugby. Hopefully the Black Ferns can get the job done again.
So we're probably just going to wrap it up very shortly, but what I want to say to anyone out there, you know, subscribe, push the like button, and if there's any sponsors that want to come on board and give us a hand and like help us along, come on board. If there's any clubs out there that want us to promote their gear, get a hold of me, get a hold of Staples, and we can promote gear as well. That's the idea, is we want to be promoting our clubs. I want to see the kids wearing their colours, getting out there enjoying their footy. So what do you reckon about that, Hayden?
Yeah, that's the great thing to see is there's not many places you go and you don't see some Green Island kit. There was even a photo, I forget, overseas somewhere, and someone was wearing one of the more recent Green Island Premier hoodies, which I'm not sure where he got it from, but it was great to see Green Island kit everywhere. Hammer and Buffer do a great job with their kit at Impact, so yeah, it's always great to see people in club colours.
No, that's right. And I suppose over in the States there, Wheels, it's a full-on thing, is it, with the old with the kits for the players and for the supporters?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, they do. Unfortunately, with Major League Rugby being such a startup competition, the kit changes each year. So we've got Macron this year, which we're in now, but there's not as much club rugby swag, but I think at the college game there's lots of it, and you know, you got your Harvards and your Boston colleges and all of the big Ivy League schools, so you can get some pretty good merch. But if Riggy wants to send me over a Southern kit package, I'll take that. So you can just give him a wee reminder.
Oh God, you're asking something there, aren't you?
That might fire him up a bit.
No, he's helping out this weekend too. He's doing real well. Yeah, I think he's the Kai boys are short of kit jerseys, so Riggy's organising some jerseys for those boys to play in this weekend. So that's pretty cool. So, cheers for that,
Awesome.
Hayden. Thank you, and thank you, Wills, and we'll get you back next week. And hopefully we've got Marty in, so I've propped him to see if he can come in and talk more about the girls' game and stuff like that. Hopefully we can get one of the ladies in as well. So it'll be sweet. So cheers. I'm AC, and I'll see you on the sideline.
We're here with BJ. So Southern number 3 prop, tight head prop. What are your thoughts on the game, mate?
It's pretty good. The boys is working hard and follow the playbook. So it's good to be back too. And it's good to be back too.
Nice. What did you have for breakfast this morning before the game?
I was in bed, bro. Straight out of bed and come and play.
That's the secret, my friend. Straight out of bed.